Any of you guys been watching these Brexiteer flag-shagging wankers lose their shit over the prospect of getting slightly closer to the EU?
This government is an absolute joke. Jeremy Hunt and Rishi Sunak are now talking about realigning us with the EU.
A story breaking over the weekend in the Sunday Times that has infuriated Brexiteers. The story about a potential Swiss-style deal with Brussels.
Rishi Sunak and Jeremy Hunt have finally done it. A national betrayal is here as we are seeing the final days of Brexit and the plan to get the UK closer to the European Union.
Oh, God forbid! God forbid we get close to our biggest trading partner. The trading bloc that we do 50% of all of our trade with. God forbid we get close to them. I mean, didn't Farage bang on about this during the referendum? Oh, we need to be close to Europe. We need to keep trading as closely as we can with Europe.
And a fresh approach which says, let's be friendly with Europe, let's trade with Europe, but not be governed by their institutions.
Honestly, I don't know what these people want. What do these people want? Do they just want to make it as difficult and as hard as possible to trade with our biggest trading partner? Is that what they want?
First, we're going to start with a national scandal. Rishi Sunak and Jeremy Hunt at the top of the UK government these days, they are planning to reverse Brexit. They are planning to get us closer to the European Union, the single market, the contribution to the budget, a European budget, as well as liberalising EU movement, free movement.
Do you notice something about these guys? I've noticed it in this guy, what's his name, Tousi. I've noticed it a lot in Michael Heaver. They're always like reading from a script, aren't they? They're always looking down at their papers and they're sort of emphasising the wrong points in the sentence. It's kind of like they don't actually really understand what they're saying and someone's just shoved something in front of them for them to read, and it's not their opinion, it's not actually coming from their own voice. They're just looking down and it's weird.
With the bloc in recent years are also pushing for the European Court of Justice to have greater oversight in the relationship. They're planning to get us closer to the European Union, the single market, the contribution to the budget, a European budget, as well as liberalising EU movement, free movement. This is all because they can't handle the current situation.
Because they can't deal with it. What country can deal with the economic crisis that we have right now, plus the effects of Brexit? 4% lost on GDP every year, loss in trade, loss in export, loss in production. Who can deal with this extreme Tory Brexit that Boris Johnson, Jacob Rees-Mogg and the like have left us?
They want to create a new scapegoat to find solutions for the Northern Ireland Protocol and the Brexit deal and everything else, instead of actually giving us a proper Brexit.
What is a proper Brexit to these people? Honestly, what is a proper Brexit? Will they not be happy until we're just completely isolated on our own? Don't trade with anyone, completely self-sufficient, don't let anyone in, anyone out, try and live off, I don't know, beans on toast for the rest of our lives. What is a proper Brexit? Because that kind of sounds like another country that's been in the news recently. Just done a nuclear test, Americans not too happy about it. It sounds kind of similar to that one, doesn't it?
With the bloc in recent years are also pushing for the European Court of Justice to have greater oversight in the relationship. The Swiss have frequently debated restricting free movement from the bloc, but in the most recent referendum opted to keep it. So we are going to basically be copying Switzerland in this situation. Now, not everybody is happy about this current situation. Of course, half a country are unhappy anyway.
Yeah, but it's not half the country though, is it? Maybe it was half the country during the referendum when they didn't really know what they were voting for. But now we know what we voted for and we've had 2 years of Brexit. It's not half the country anymore, mate. I'm sorry, you got to come to the conclusion and realise that you're in a minority now. Look at the amount of polls. There's so many polls out there showing that people that voted Brexit regret it. If there was a referendum today, it would overwhelmingly be for Remain, because people have seen the economic damage that Brexit has brought. I've done a video with my dad last week. I'm sure a lot of you saw it. the majority of Brexit voters are feeling exactly like my dad. They regret doing it because they're seeing the economic effects of it. And even Jeremy Hunt and Sunak now have seen the economic effects. They know the economic shit that they're in right now. And if they've got any chance of winning the next election, they need to turn it round. And the first thing they need to do is get closer ties to Europe. You've just got to face facts, mate. You're in a minority now. It's just you flag-shagging racist wankers left that are still idolising Brexit. The rest of the population have realised what a catastrophe it is.
But in terms of people at the top, we've had Lord David Frost. Lord David Frost has come out to say that any approach requiring the UK to align with EU rules to get trade benefits.
God forbid we get a benefit to trade. I mean, what are these people on? Where they're talking negatively about trying to get trade benefits. Do you know what a trade benefit is? It's a benefit to trade.
We said this since 2020. We said, guys, while we celebrate, we get excited that on paper we are leaving the European Union. It's not completed. I did say a couple of years ago that they will plan, they will plot, they will try their best to get us back into the European project.
It's just these morons left now. It's just these idiots left. The rest of the country has moved on. We've taken another step. It's a long process to undo all the damage that Brexit has done. It's going to be years and years and years. But we've taken another step now. With the economic crisis that we're in at the moment, the general public realise the catastrophe, the damage that Brexit has done to our economy. And it's just morons like these. They're the only ones left banging on about the cult of Brexit, giving the same old stupid arguments. Oh, the EU laws, we still got EU laws.
This is about what's going on right now with the concept of we still have a number of EU laws in our books. And there were a number of plans that even Liz Truss was planning to remove all those existing EU rules and laws. But
yeah, those EU laws that are still just about allowing us to trade, the small amount of trade that we can do, still giving us that little bit of GDP. And again, we can't have a Swiss or Norway deal. Why? What's so wrong about that? They're prosperous countries, Swiss and Norway. Farage was banging on about this. Again, he was on about this during the referendum. What's wrong with a Swiss or Norway style deal? They're very rich countries.
Well, I have to say that everybody from David Cameron to half this panel say, wouldn't it be terrible if we were like Norway and Switzerland? Really? They're rich, they're happy, they're it's successful. Norway. They're rich. They top the world's happiness index. They're allowed to catch their own fish.
It would be ghastly if this country was like Norway. Can you imagine it? Rich, free, catching your own fish.
Norway sells 75% of its overseas goods to the European marketplace. It trades with the European marketplace at a premium. It has opted to be a member of the European Economic Area, which is, in a sense, an anti-room for European Union.
He would say they'd have to pay the cash and have none of the decision-making power.
Well, that is straightforward untrue, because actually they don't pay their money to Brussels, they pay their money directly to some of the poorer emerging southern and eastern European countries. Norway. They will put up with some of the rules, but they won't put up with all of the rules.
So again, summarize, like I say, it's another step to undoing this damage. It's a long old road, a long road. But we've taken one step, and I'm kind of positive. Look, I ain't positive about the Sunak Tory government. I'm scared shitless of the next level of austerity that's going to be dished out. The slashing of the NHS and public services scares the shit out of me. But just on the issue of Europe, I don't know whether you guys agree, but I think we probably got the least worst version of Tory government since 2016. The most pro-EU. What do you guys think? Let me know. Till next time, take care.